Adam and Claire have been married for 7 years. From the outside, everything looks fine. A clean home, stable careers, no loud fights. But in the quiet, love has slowly faded. As they each find comfort in someone else's attention, neither of them realizes they're both drifting away. In a city that never sleeps, two hearts are tested by loneliness, secrets, and the raw truth they've been avoiding. This isn't just a story about infidelity. It's a story about two people searching for what home really means, when even their own home feels like a stranger. The apartment was quiet, too quiet. Adam sat at the kitchen table, fingers idle on his laptop keyboard. His eyes, however, were fixed on the clock above the microwave. 10:47 p.m. Again. Another late night. The sound of keys at the door broke the silence. Claire stepped in, heels clicking softly against the hardwood floor. Her hair was slightly messy from the wind, her coat draped over her arm, and the faint smell of rain clung to her. "Sorry, the meeting ran late," she said without looking at him. She walked straight to the fridge, grabbed a bottle of water, and took a long sip. Adam nodded slightly. "Second time this week." Claire paused. "Deadlines, Adam. It's not like I'm out partying." "I didn't say you were." The air grew heavier. She sighed and sat across from him. "Can we not do this tonight?" He closed his laptop. "Then when?" Claire looked at him, really looked. The man she married still sat in front of her, same eyes, same voice, but something between them had shifted. Days passed like ghosts, and conversations felt more like calendar reminders. "I'm tired," she said softly. Adam stood, chair scraping. "Yeah," he murmured. "Me too." He walked past her, heading to the bedroom. But before he entered, he glanced back. She was already on her phone, replying to someone. She smiled faintly. Not at him. And in a cafe just a few blocks away, Ivy wiped down a counter and glanced at her phone screen. A message blinked in. "Can't sleep. Might drop by tomorrow." She smiled. Claire sat on the rooftop lounge of her office building, coffee in hand, gaze lost in the flickering lights of Manhattan. Her phone buzzed. "Sebastian Hale. Still your favorite coffee spot on 38th Street?" She stared at the screen for a moment, then typed back. "Claire. Haven't been there in years. Why?" A reply came almost instantly. "Sebastian. I'm in town. Thought we could catch up. Nothing heavy." She hesitated, then locked her phone without replying. Across town, Adam walked into the cafe. A small bell above the door rang as he stepped inside. Ivy looked up and smiled. "Hey, stranger." Adam gave a weak smile. "Rough night." "Sit," she said, already pouring his usual. "You look like you haven't slept in days." He chuckled softly. "That obvious?" Ivy leaned on the counter. "You ever gonna tell me what's really going on?" Adam looked at her, eyes tired but open. Vulnerable. "I think I'm losing her," he said. Ivy's expression softened. "Maybe you never really had her." Their eyes met for a second too long. That evening, Claire stood outside the coffee shop on 38th Street. The windows glowed warm against the cold city. She was about to turn away when a voice called her name. "Claire." She turned. Sebastian stood there, same confident grin, coat neatly buttoned. Time had been kind to him. "You came," he said. "I shouldn't have," she replied. "But you did." They stood there, strangers bound by a past too vivid to forget. The morning light crept through the half-closed blinds, cutting across the bedroom like silent judgment. Adam lay on his side, eyes open, watching Claire's back as she slept. The distance between them, even in sleep, felt like miles. He reached out, paused, and slowly pulled his hand back. Downstairs, he poured himself coffee and stared out the window. His phone buzzed. "Ivy. Hope today feels lighter. If not, I'll be here." He typed a reply, deleted it, then pocketed the phone. Some thoughts were better left unsent. Meanwhile, Claire sat at her desk, unread emails piling up. Her mind drifted to the meeting with Sebastian the night before. They had talked about work, regrets, the what-ifs. "You look tired," Sebastian had said. "I am," Claire replied. But she hadn't meant physically. She was tired of pretending. That night, Claire came home earlier than usual. Adam was in the kitchen, cooking pasta, something he hadn't done in weeks. "Smells good," she said, surprised. He didn't turn. "Figured we could eat like normal people for once." They sat down. A strange silence lingered. Halfway through the meal, Claire finally spoke. "I saw someone yesterday." Adam didn't look up. "Who?" "Sebastian." His fork froze in mid-air. She watched him carefully. "It was just coffee." He nodded slowly. "Okay." Another silence. Then he looked up. "I've been seeing someone too." Claire blinked. Adam exhaled. "Nothing serious. Just someone who listens." Claire's throat tightened. "I don't know what we're doing anymore," he added. "Do you?" She didn't answer. Rain tapped against the window pane as Adam sat alone in the living room, lights dimmed, wine half empty on the table. The silence wasn't peaceful, it was loaded. Claire had gone upstairs without a word after dinner. Again. His phone buzzed. "Ivy. I'm closing up early. Want some company?" He stared at the message. Then typed. "Adam. Maybe. I don't know." "Ivy. Just say the word. I'll be there." He typed again. Deleted it. Put the phone face down. Upstairs, Claire scrolled through her messages. No new ones. She clicked on Sebastian's name. No recent replies. A wave of guilt rose in her chest. It wasn't about Sebastian. Or Adam. It was about everything they'd let rot in silence. She walked to the bedroom mirror and stared at her reflection. Her eyes looked tired, not just from work, but from carrying too much alone. 11:23 p.m. Adam stood in front of Ivy's cafe. It was closed, lights dimmed, but she was there, inside waiting. She opened the door before he knocked. "Didn't think you'd come," she said. "I almost didn't." But he stepped in. She locked the door behind him. At the same time, Claire sat at the dining table, staring at the untouched wine glass Adam had poured for her earlier. She picked up her phone. "Claire, I made a mistake." She hit send. But the message didn't go to Adam. It went to Sebastian. Ivy poured Adam a cup of tea, not wine. The rain outside blurred the glass like fogged-up memory. "I thought you said you didn't want to cross this line," she said gently. "I did," Adam replied. "But I'm tired of waiting for things to fix themselves." She sat beside him, closer than usual. "Then what are you doing here?" "I don't know," he whispered. "Looking for something real." Silence. Then slowly, Ivy reached for his hand. He didn't pull away. Claire woke up with her phone still in her hand. "Sebastian. Tell me when and where. I'll come to you." She stared at the message, heart thumping with regret, but also anticipation. She looked around the empty room. Adam's side of the bed was untouched. The next morning, they sat across from each other at the table again, but now the silence was worse. Loaded. Sharp. Adam finally broke it. "Did you sleep well?" Claire looked at him. "You didn't come to bed." "Neither did you." She bit her lip. "Where were you last night?" Adam hesitated. "Out. Just needed air." Claire didn't press. She simply nodded. Then said, "I saw Sebastian again. We kissed." The words hit like a train. Adam's jaw tensed. He met her eyes. "I slept at Ivy's." Now her breath caught. No shouting. No crying. Just the quiet sound of something collapsing between them. The apartment was still, as if holding its breath. Adam sat on the edge of the bed, face buried in his hands. Claire stood by the window, arms folded, trying to piece together words that didn't sound like blame or defeat. "So," she said softly. "What now?" Adam looked up. I don't know. I really don't. They had laid it all bare. The affair. The emptiness. The distance. No more secrets. But honesty, it turned out, didn't always heal. I never wanted this, Claire whispered. Neither did I, he replied. But we let it happen. That evening, Claire met Sebastian at a hotel bar downtown. The air was filled with jazz and perfume and half-spoken guilt. I told him, she said. Sebastian sipped his drink. And he told me about Ivy. His jaw tightened. So he moved on too. Claire didn't answer. Instead, she asked, do you really think we can start over after all these years? Sebastian smiled, but his eyes were tired. Maybe not start over, but start something new. Meanwhile, Adam walked with Ivy along the rainy street. She held an umbrella, he didn't. You didn't have to come, she said. I know. But I'm glad you did. He stopped walking. I told Claire. Ivy paused. And she told me about Sebastian. Ivy looked at him carefully. Do you still love her? Adam was silent. The kind of silence that says yes, no, and I wish I knew all at once. The next morning, Claire packed a small overnight bag. Adam watched from the doorway, unsure whether to speak or stay silent. You're leaving? He finally asked. Just for a few days, she said, zipping the bag. I need space. We both do. Adam nodded, though his chest tightened. Is it with him? Claire paused. No. Alone. He didn't stop her. Just stood there, watching the door close. Claire checked into a quiet hotel by the river. No distractions, no expectations. Just her, a blank notepad, and too many thoughts. For the first time in months, she let herself cry. Not because of betrayal, but because she'd forgotten what it felt like to choose herself. Meanwhile, Ivy sat across from Adam in the cafe. They weren't touching. The air between them had changed. She left, Adam said. Ivy raised her eyebrows. For good. He shook his head. Just a break. I think we need it. Ivy took a deep breath. Then maybe you should use it. Use it how? To figure out if you're with me because you want me, or because she's not there. Adam looked down. I don't know anymore. Ivy nodded slowly. Then maybe I should take a break too. That night, no messages were sent. No calls. No excuses. Just space. For once, the silence wasn't loaded. It was necessary. A full week passed. No messages. No meetings. Just air between them, heavy but honest. Claire walked along the riverbank near her hotel, journal in hand. Her thoughts were clearer now. Painful, but sharp. She finally admitted it to herself. She loved Adam. But love, left unattended, had wilted. Back in their apartment, Adam rearranged the living room. Not to erase Claire, but to remember who he was outside the marriage. He stared at an old photo on the shelf. A younger version of them, happy, stupid in love. He smiled, sadly. Then took the photo down. Sebastian called Claire that evening. Ready to see me again? Claire hesitated. Not yet. I need to face him first. Really face him. Sebastian didn't argue. He just said, then I hope he deserves that chance. Ivy was closing the cafe when Adam walked in. You shouldn't be here, she said gently. I know. I just wanted to thank you. For what? For being honest when I wasn't ready to be. Ivy nodded. You don't owe me anything. I owe you the truth, he said. I cared. Maybe I still do. But I need to fix what I broke, if it's still fixable. Ivy smiled, not bitter. Then go. Don't wait too long. And so he did. Adam stood outside the hotel the next morning, holding nothing but a cup of Claire's favorite coffee. When she opened the door, their eyes met, tired, but clearer than they'd been in years. Breakfast? He asked. Claire stared a moment, then stepped aside. Come in. They sat on the balcony of Claire's hotel room, the city waking up below them. Steam curled from their coffee cups. For once, neither of them felt the urge to fill the silence. "I missed this," Adam said finally. Claire nodded. "Me too. But missing something doesn't mean it still fits." Adam looked out at the skyline. "Do you think we can ever be what we were?" Claire didn't answer right away. Then said, "I think, trying to go back would only break us more." He looked at her. "So what now?" She took a deep breath. "We rebuild, but not from the ruins. From honesty. From now." That evening, they walked home together for the first time in weeks. No hands held. No kisses stolen. Just two people choosing to walk the same direction, slowly. At their apartment door, Claire stopped. "I'm not promising anything," she said. Adam smiled faintly. "I'm not asking for that. Just the chance to earn it." She unlocked the door. Meanwhile, Ivy sat alone in her cafe, closing early. A customer's forgotten scarf lay on a chair. She folded it neatly. No bitterness. No regrets. Only peace, because she had loved with clarity, and let go with grace. Sebastian stood on the airport platform, Claire's message unread on his phone. He didn't open it. Just boarded the train, and disappeared into the city. Months later. The apartment was different now, subtly. Warmer. Not because everything was perfect, but because they had stopped pretending. Claire worked fewer late nights. Adam stopped disappearing into silence. They still fought sometimes. But now, they stayed to finish the conversation. One Saturday morning, Claire stepped into the kitchen in her pajamas. Adam was there, flipping pancakes badly. She laughed. "You still can't cook." He smirked. "You still pretend to like it." They sat together, messy plates between them. It wasn't grand. It wasn't a movie scene. But it was real. And that was enough. Ivy opened a new cafe across town. Fresh start. She painted the walls herself, picked every song on the playlist. Customers came not just for coffee, but for quiet safety. She smiled more now, not for others, but for herself. She kept a Polaroid of her old cafe in the back office. A reminder of when she almost became someone's escape, and chose instead to be her own. Sebastian never replied to Claire's last message. He didn't need to. That chapter had closed, not in anger, but in time. In the end, it wasn't about fixing what broke. It was about learning how to live with the scars, without letting them define the whole story. They were still tangled in some places. But finally, they were free. In the end, it wasn't about choosing the perfect love, or even the right person. It was about facing the truth, no matter how messy, painful, or uncertain it may be. Because sometimes, healing doesn't mean going back. Sometimes, it means finding the strength to begin again, even if the path looks unfamiliar. And if this story touched something in you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. More stories are coming, real, raw, and unforgettable.